Hi, and welcome to the R2RB podcast series, Woman Entrepreneur Spotlight. I am in the studio today with Veronica Rios of Over the Rainbow Face Painting Company. Veronica is located in Newcastle County, and have no fear, she does travel
Yeah.
all over. Veronica, welcome, and thank you for joining me today. How are you?
So great. Well, first of all, thank you for even having me and giving me this opportunity. I am doing like today, I'm doing way better than I have in the past few days. As I go forward and forward, things become more clear for me and I become more optimistic and very positive. So today I'm feeling just optimistic and very happy.
Oh, I
So
like
how are
that.
you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for asking. I like to ask two questions to get us warmed up. And the first one is, if you could have any superpower, which one would you have?
I think it would be to remove evil in the world,
Mm.
evil and hate. I think that is really a stem of where a lot of negative things come from. And if we removed it and harmonized and became one as a human race, I think we'd feel a lot more love.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're so right about the hate. Yeah, we definitely need to eradicate that. So, what's your favorite app on your phone and why?
Oh, Canva. I cannot stop talking about Canva. Have you heard of Canva?
I use Canva. Yeah.
Okay. I love Canva so much that I didn't even know Canva was a pro option because I kept seeing like, oh, you can only use this if you're a pro. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then I found out like it was a membership. And when I ended up getting the membership, because I'm telling you, I was using Canva for my resumes, for my business cards, for invoices, for flyers. And I was like, I'm using Canva, looking at Canva right now. So like I was like, okay, let me just see what Pro is. And when I used Pro, it gave me a world of different options. And now my flyers and everything look 10 times better. And I can't, like, I talk about it so much to people. Just use Canva. Just use it. It's my favorite app.
That is so funny because when I first started with Canva, or when I first heard of Canva, it was like, all right, I'll check it out. And like
Yeah.
you, only did the free part of it, and then I switched over to the pro, and I use it the same way as you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And we have a video player on our website that we are finally being able to use, and I'm doing the backgrounds in Canva now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because there's a button on there that says elements, and then you can literally type in anything, and it'll give you a variety of different backgrounds, different pictures, images, GIFs, anything you can think of, it's there. And so it makes anything that you want to create look professionally made. And it's not you did it. You did it at
Right?
home.
I
My
know.
business cards, everyone's like, "Oh my God, these are so cute." And I'm like, "I did that. I
Yeah.
did that."
Yeah. And I've done the business cards with Canva as well and ordered
Yeah.
them through them.
Yeah.
And they are
Yeah.
so, oh my gosh, the pricing is great. Oh, we'll have to talk more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. So let's start. Hopefully I start in the right place. So you started Over the Rainbow face painting in 2019, but of course, due to COVID-19, you received a cease and desist letter. So you started and you got shut down right then. But let's back up a little bit. Prior to the face painting, where were you and what were you doing?
So prior to the face painting, I was a makeup artist and I had been a makeup artist for quite a while. I started doing makeup just for fun when I was 19. I didn't know I was going to take it super serious, and I had taken it serious for a while. And then I was working at actual locations like Mac Makeup, for instance, and then I also worked for a company called Riley Rose. And then when I had my daughter, I kind of realized I can't really go places. I just had a kid. I can't go to a physical job. So I ended up doing this thing where I'm like, well, if you need your makeup done, you can come to my home, which has a studio in it. So I was doing studio makeup for mainly I wanted to do bridal because I find bridal so beautiful. But at times I would do quinces, which is like sweet 15s and special events such as that. And I thought I wanted that to be a career, but there was just a big shift. It was a big shift. And so I was doing that for a while, and then I was doing it out of my home. and I had did that all the way until the pandemic. Right before the pandemic, actually.
And just before the pandemic and before you went into the face painting, were you in Florida?
Yeah, I was in Florida. I lived in Florida from ages 15 all the way to 25.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So then you made the shift to, well, you made a move.
After,
You didn't do a shift, you did a move.
yeah, I want to say COVID took over our lives, and 4 months after COVID was a nationwide emergency. Um, we moved 4 months after the mandate had happened. And after 4 months, we drove all the way from Florida to Delaware and started a whole new life and continued the quarantine here. And it was a lot. It was a lot.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It
I
was a
mean, you
lot.
just
Yeah.
literally pack up your family and
And yeah,
was there a reason that you came to Delaware? Did you have family or?
yeah. So, well, here's the thing. The owner of the house that we were living in Florida, he was an elderly man who had some health concerns, and he wanted a way out of dealing with people. He was terrified of COVID,
Mhm.
as everyone was. I mean, as you can imagine, people were stealing, like people were taking things off shelves, and it was a complete. I mean, I don't know. I feel like at that time, so much happened that it's hard for me to. So when I sit here and think about it, it was traumatic. But he wanted to get away from people. So he came to our house one day, and it was the day we were going to pay rent. And he was like, "Listen, I got to tell you guys something. I put your house up on Zillow." And I was like, "What?" Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah. And I got a buyer." And we're like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." I mean, we are just looking at him with our rent in hand, and we're like, "Why would you do this?" And he's like, "I don't want to be around people. Like, I don't want to catch COVID. I'm scared. I don't want to die," which we felt for him.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
I get it. But my husband's job was a job that was also very uh, physical with people. He just got laid off because of COVID.
Mm.
We all got laid off because of COVID. And now we're being kicked out of our home because of COVID. My mom lived in a elderly only complex, so we were not allowed to live with her. My mother-in-law could not move us in because there was only one bedroom and she was occupying it. There was nowhere for us to go in Florida.
Wow.
Not in, and then he told us by the end of the month we had to be out.
Wow.
So we were frazzled. I remember him leaving and I'm pouring, crying, and I'm like, we just had a baby. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, the only thing he could think of is, I'm gonna call my dad in Delaware and I'm just gonna tell him, like, hey, see what his advice is. Luckily, his dad said, listen, the people who are renting my house left. You guys can take the house if you want it. The house was in horrible condition. It's in horrible condition. I mean, we still have a lot to work in. There's a leak in our roof and it's a lot, but we took it because I'm not going to raise a child homeless. That's not
Right,
going to happen.
right.
So we could not take everything with us. We had to throw out majority of our furniture, take our child, take what we could, and we just came. We drove straight through. I mean, we got here within 16 hours of driving,
Oh my
and
gosh.
usually it takes almost 2 days to drive. And we got here in 16 hours, and we were tired. But when we got into the house, it was a mess.
Oh
The
my
house was
goodness.
a mess. I mean, we couldn't even sleep properly. We had to clean up a corner in a room and fix that corner so that we could sleep. And we were so tired. And I mean, we were in a hole of a hole,
Oh my
just a world
gosh.
of
Yeah.
hurt.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. COVID had overturned so many lives, had taken so many lives,
yeah,
and it was just a horrible time for
yeah,
everybody. And that is just, oh my gosh. Well, I am glad that you are in a much better place now. And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you and your husband have worked so hard to get, both of you to where you are. Wow. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm grateful. It's still the beginning, but it's a positive beginning.
yeah.
And I'm very happy that at least we were able to find somewhere very quick to go, because some people are not fortunate. Some people also lost everything and they were not as fortunate. Some had to stay in a shelter. I'm very thankful that even though the house was in disarray and the house needs a lot of love, um, we're able now to give it love,
Nice. Oh, good.
you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So during the time that you got to Delaware, when you arrived in Delaware till now, where and when did your face painting come into play?
Okay, so oh man, this is very this is okay. It's a little bit of a but let me explain, okay?
Okay.
As you know, it started in Florida and then it quickly got cut at the knees. I still had my whole kit, okay? This kit had all my paints, all my brushes, and there was no love being given to it. When I came to Florida, I continued being a makeup artist. I said, well, this is all I know. Um, Face painting didn't work out. Maybe it was a sign that it just wasn't meant to be because COVID came and just knocked me off. And I completely abandoned my kit and I didn't even look at it. I put it up in my closet and it was there in the back just collecting dust. And I was doing makeup and I went to school and I got my license and I made it legit here in Delaware. I went to Schilling Douglas and I graduated from Schilling Douglas. And a few months ago, actually at the end of October, unfortunately, we found out I had a tumor behind my eye.
Ooh.
And so I'm very lucky the tumor was not cancerous. But I did not want surgery. Meaning reason because we lost our mother to a surgery in September of last year,
Oh my goodness.
and surgery terrifies me
Mm.
because she went into surgery very positive. She thought she was going to come out fine. You know, you just spoke to them, and she did not make it in
So
surgery, and
sad.
so I'm terrified of it. So I told them I don't want surgery. What is my options?
Sure.
And they said, well, we could put you through IV chemo. Chemo reduces the size of tumors, and with time, it can go away. It's just a hard thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, anything that is going to stop you from putting a knife anywhere near my eye, I will do it. So I've been in IV chemo. And with that being said, the jobs that I were working were having a hard time with me because I was tired at times that I was feeling sick.
Of course.
I've had to switch schedules a lot with employees just to get to my appointments.
Of
And
course.
I could tell that my managers were getting very frustrated. And they were telling me, Veronica, we sympathize with you and we want you to be okay, but it's making it very hard for us to be able to schedule with you having to leave all the time to your appointments and you getting sick during your shifts. And we're not saying that you need to leave. We don't want to fire you, but we want you to understand. I think they wanted me to say I'm leaving without
Right.
them having to kick me out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do.
I got the picture very clearly
Yeah.
with what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of was in this awkward position where they're staring at me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I said, I'll give my position to someone else. You don't have to fire me. I know that you don't want to say it.
Right.
Um, because then that would mean you'd have to pay me
Of course.
unemployment and you don't want to do that.
Of
So
course.
I will go. And I sat home and my husband was like, babe, that case is still sitting in your closet with all the paint in it. And I looked at him and I'm like, you're right. And he goes, I know life is a lot for you lately. It's been a lot. And he said, but you always loved children. You always loved being creative. You're very artistic by nature. You've always been super, super, you've had an eye for art. He goes, I think that this would be the time and place for you to put yourself forward and grab the kit and just
Right.
paint.
Yeah.
He's like, I know it's weird. I know you're probably uncomfortable, but
But
this way you can schedule when you want, you can book when you want.
absolutely.
It's your way of taking control of your life again. So I
Absolutely.
did. I took my kit out. I bought some new paints because some of the paints there were expired and I didn't want to use that. And I got down to it and I was painting my days away and painting and going through IV and painting and going through, going through the works, the emotions, feeling sick up and down. But then I was able to book a gig and the result of my first gig. really set my heart in motion for being like, oh my God, this feels right.
Oh my
This
gosh.
feels where I belong. And the feeling was just so overjoying that immediately I wanted to book my next gig. I just wanted to do it consistently. I mean, and I came home every day after that and I painted every day and I still paint every day. I wake up, get my kid ready, make her breakfast, take her to school. And while she's in school, I'm paint my heart out.
There you
I
go.
practice, practice, practice. And I mean, I know I'm not like these professionals who have been doing it for years, but I feel like I know I can get there and I feel already happy with what I have produced. So I got back there. It's like life did a full circle. What I thought was never going to happen again popped back up into my life in
Right?
a way that it wasn't expected, but I got back there. So
Oh
I'm
my
back here
gosh.
and I'm
That
happy.
that is wonderful. And just your case for your makeup artistry pieces that you use, that you had said when you were getting ready to move, you had to throw out almost everything. And the one thing that you didn't throw out was that case.
Yeah.
And it might have stayed on your shelf. And God pushes us in different
Mhm.
ways and all over and tests everyone. And for
Yeah.
you to do and get through what you have accomplished to date is amazing. And kudos and congratulations to
Thank
you.
you. Yeah. It is.
So,
Well, now that you say that, I didn't think about the fact that I didn't throw out that kit.
right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kit was there and
Yeah.
it was just very quiet, waiting for you to do what the
Yeah.
kid already knew what you needed to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty neat. That is really
Yeah.
neat. So you practice all the time. You practiced all the time with who did you practice on?
My daughter, which she is about fed up with the face paint, but I have to do this thing where I bribe her. I'm like, listen, I'll let you be on the tablet if you just let me do it on your just like a little butterfly. Let me just and so she'll be like, okay, but after this we need a break, okay, mom? And I'm like, okay. So
How
then I do
how
it on
how
like
how
I
old
practice
how old is
on
she?
Vince.
I'm sorry. How
My
old is she?
daughter's 5 going on to 6,
Okay.
and her personality because my daughter is my only child, she's around adults 24/7, so she's very grown up for a 5 years old. She has a very articulate, very, well-mannered she can present herself well. Like,
That's
if you ask
wonderful.
questions, she will give you an adult answer because she's around adults, so that's all she knows. So she lets me paint her, and she's about fed up with the paint. My husband lets me paint him, and it's funny because here I am doing childish, kiddish little looks on this grown man with a beard, but he's shaved his beard off so that I can get in there. And the things he's done for me to be able to paint. And I remember him looking at me and he's like, babe, I know nothing about art, but what you just created on me is beautiful. He's like, and I know you're in the right place. I just know it.
Right?
And he's just so happy about me that he invested so much of his money and time and effort into me because he believes in it.
And,
So it's
and
been nice to have my team. It's a very small team, but it's a great team.
I love it. I love it. And you had said about your husband just, saying, hey, why don't you go get that box that you didn't throw away and, kind of take it down and dust it off. And he didn't push you. And,
No.
that's
Yeah.
how this all works sometimes. It's just a
Yeah.
little
It's
nudge
very
or
weird.
a little, encouragement.
Yeah.
And, your team is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
And
is
it's
great.
crazy. It's so crazy because God must have knew that box may not be used now, but eventually she'll take that box off that shelf, and at the right time it'll be in used. And it is at the right time. I needed it the most, and it's
Yeah,
saving my life in a
for
way.
for so many reasons on so
Yeah,
many levels. And yep, so that is your hope chest altogether.
yeah, yeah,
So you practice on your daughter, which I've seen on Facebook, and I have seen your awesome
mm,
husband letting you
yeah,
do the face painting
yeah,
on him. Do you have
yeah.
other adults that ask for face painting when you're at events?
Um, so what's so crazy is I don't have friends in Delaware except for one. I've made one friend, and I made it's so weird how we became friends. I was trick or treating with my daughter, and I said hi. I said I live right behind you. I just want to say your house is really pretty. She's like, you live behind me? I was like, yeah. She goes, well, you should be my friend. I was like, okay.
Oh,
And this lady was so awesome. Her name is Rachel, and I love her so much. And we exchanged numbers right in the middle of her putting candy in my kid's bag, and she gave me her phone number, and we text each other. And now every Sunday, it's been a ritual for a whole year. We watch movies together every Sunday,
oh,
and so
nice.
I paint on her now. And she's like, "Hey, you got my face? Paint on my face." And she loves it. She's like, "Yeah, make me into who you want to make me. You want me to be a butterfly? I'll be the best butterfly you've ever seen." And it's been great because not many friends will want that. Not many grown up friends will let you do that. And the fact that she's let me is so nice. And the fact that we became friends in the most different way, and it's special. It's
That is
special.
really great. That is really
You
great.
know?
Yeah, it gives you a whole new outlook to, doing an
Yeah.
adult has to be very different from, the child's
Oh,
pace.
very, very, very different. It's very different.
So you telling us about Over the Rainbow face painting and your makeup artist business. Prior to that, you've done this all by yourself.
All by myself.
You put your businesses together,
All by myself.
all
I
by
didn't know
yourself.
what I was doing. I had no idea, and I didn't have a plan. I literally all I did was I always remembered seeing this ad for something called Legal Zoom. Okay, Legal
Yep.
Zoom was a company that did everything in one. Okay, they got you your EI-9, they got you your LLC, they checked your state's laws. They've had it in a package all for you. And because I didn't know what I was doing, I remember just calling the 1-800 number, and I was like, listen, you know, I'm doing this for the first time. I don't know what I'm doing, and I just need to know what is my steps. And she's like, this is what you need to do. And I just went with it. And I said, okay, well, today I'm going to promote and I'm going to do this. And tomorrow I'm just going to contact this person because that's what they told me. And then, oh, I need insurance, right? Because if something happens, I need to make sure I'm insured, right? Every business has insurance. And so I just was Googling the best insurance, but what was affordable for me at the time. And I didn't know. I didn't know anything. I didn't have anybody guide me. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a friend. I didn't even think about asking a friend. I kind of was just like, I'm rocking on this boat solo, and I'm going to figure it out. And I'm proud of that because I can look at it and say, a woman who knew nothing, did it all. I searched and I wrote all my notes down, and I bought this folder that contains all my files. I printed everything out, and each one has a tab. And I created my own contract. I don't even know what a contract was, but I did it. And I made sure that my contract was right by a notary. And a notary reread it, and she was like, hey, this looks legit. And I was like, perfect. I didn't know what I was doing. I was
See?
lost. And I did it somehow, and it's all worked out, and I'm so proud of it. And it's my baby. My business is my baby.
You should be proud because it's a lot. I mean, it's first of all, like you said, it's no easy task starting the business and starting the business by yourself. Most of the women entrepreneurs that I speak with usually have had a mentor or a friend or
Yeah.
somebody, but you being who you are,
Yeah.
and just even with the move from Florida in the midst of the COVID, getting into a home where you have to give it a lot of TLC to
Yeah.
where you are now with your face painting, over the rainbow face painting here in
Yeah.
Delaware. You should be very proud.
I appreciate that very much. It's not often I stop and give myself credit. I am a person, I will admit, a very little, I never stop to look at myself and say, hey man, you did this. Like I never do that. Never. If anything, I rip myself apart a little bit. And I think that's just because I grew up very, I've never grew up with a lot of pats on the shoulders. So I'm in the process of learning how to give myself a pat. When I stop and I look at my plaques, and I received my letter in the mail from LegalZoom saying, congratulations for starting your LLC. It says, thank you. Let's be the first to say congratulations. And when I read that, I said, look at you. You
Right?
did you did that. You found
Yeah.
they asked you for all this information. You filled out all your paperwork. You learned what all this meant. You Googled and researched, and you did it. And you're official. And there's a paperwork that says you're official with your name and your business, and it's yours. And you alone did that. And for a moment there, I did cry. I
So
cried happy tears because after everything that's happened, after all COVID put me through, I made it back. I
you
made it.
did. Oh my
I
gosh,
did.
you have. And that is just the best part of this story so far. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that is great. So there's a godson involved in how you really
Yes.
got your business going here in Delaware. Tell us about that.
Oh my God. My my husband is the youngest at a very so his siblings are way older than him. And so he has a niece that's literally my age, which is crazy to me. Okay. And I remember she came to my house and I remember her saying, I think I'm pregnant. And she came to me because I had just had my baby.
Aw.
And she confided in me because she was nervous. And she was like, I need you to go to the hospital with me. I'm nervous. And I'm like, okay, we'll go. Went to the hospital. And as soon as they came back in the room, they're like, you're pregnant.
Aw.
She was so happy. And the first thing she said is, do you want to be the godmom? And
Aw.
I'm like, yes. And so I was the godmom. And here we are, a year and some change, more than a year later. It's about to be his very first birthday. And she was like, man, these face painters are expensive. And I was like, I'll buy paint. I'll paint the kids. And I said it jokingly. Okay. I said it jokingly. And I said, I'll just like Pinterest some photos, right? Like I'll just see how they look. They're not gonna look great, I told her, but they're gonna be something. Sad thing is that because of COVID, not many kids got painted because COVID had hit right when his birthday started. I did get to paint some, but his birthday was what pushed me or even made me think about face painting. Her even saying that made the word face painting come into my life. Like I didn't even think about face painting until she said it. And I was like, I could do that. I
See?
can do that. And I love children, and I would love to do that, and I would love to make them happy. And my interaction with kids is so fun because I still feel like I'm a kid at heart. So when I'm talking to children, I'm like, hey, do you want to be a tiger? What kind of tiger? You want rainbows? We can do this. Let's add some glitter. Like, and it's fun and it's so lighthearted. And anything you give these kids, they smile. So he was the one, my godson was the one who the word was thrown out there for, and
Wow.
it stuck with me. It
Oh,
stuck
I
with me.
love that. And
Yeah.
how did you come about with the over the rainbow part?
So that one, when I was practicing my face painting, and I had no name at this point when I was practicing, I was watching The Wizard of Oz, and it's been my favorite movie. I remember watching it with my mama when I was little, and I remember singing somewhere over, and as I was painting, I was using a rainbow colored,
Oh,
and I'm singing somewhere over the rainbow. And I'm looking at the paint and I laughed and I looked at my husband. I'm like, wouldn't it be cute if I called my business Over the Rainbow? And he was like, oh, that is a nice name. And I'm like, wait, why shouldn't it be the name? I'm like, that's the name. It's
that's it.
Over the
That's
Rainbow.
it.
I was like, we use rainbow colors anyways. We
Right?
use all the colors in
I love it.
the rainbow. So it's just from watching Wizard of Oz and loving the song and singing it and using the colors, it just meshed together. It worked.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is great. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So let me just ask this question. What advice would you give though to a woman entrepreneur starting their business?
I think when you're going to start something, you need to block out the voices that tell you you can't. You need to block out the voices that say, "But what if?" Don't listen to the what ifs. Listen to the what can, okay? What can happen? What can happen is you fall in love with something you never thought you'd fall in love. What can happen is you make children happy. What can happen is you become a pro at it. What can happen is it blossoms into something bigger than you ever thought. So just go with your first foot forward and just keep walking. Don't look back. Do not look back. Just keep going straight and ignore the negatives, ignore anything that anyone says that you can't. You can. Just, you need to believe in yourself wholeheartedly. Just believe in you and only you, and don't let no one tell you that you cannot do it. Because I had people tell me things I did, and I chose to ignore because I believed in myself. And I'm so glad I did, because sitting here right now, I have 18 booked gigs, and I could not have told myself that a year ago.
Yep. Yeah.
And I'm so proud. So when I tell that person, do it, and do it with your full intentions, and do not look back. Don't look back.
Absolutely. And again, the other women that I have spoken with say the same thing. And I am so glad that you didn't give in to the naysayers and that you went
Yeah.
with your heart and
Yeah.
knew what was best for you and loving what you do. And so you are now how far into doing face
So
painting?
even though we did the first LLC in 2019 and it didn't take off, I did start it in October of 2023. I literally started it the 2 nights after finding out I had a tumor. So let's see, that was October 23rd. October 25th was the day I took out my kit and went to starting to face paint. So October 25th, 2023 was my
That is
first time.
that
Yeah.
is amazing. And you still have the same kit. You
Yep.
still have
I
that same
You know what's so
suitcase.
crazy? My kit I bought from Harbor Freight. It was a $39.99 kit, and it was aluminum, and it was used for a clarinet. I took it apart and I said, you know what? How can I make this into a face painter kit? I bought metallic metal. I bought everything I need. I screwed in the pieces. I used the drill. I used the hard tools. I didn't know what I was doing, but now it is a face painter kit that's magnetic. It lights up. It holds paint. It has a deep compartment because I made it like that. The whole thing is purple now, and before it was silver, and it has gems all over it. And I did that, and I made it into the most beautiful thing. And when I bring it to places, the kids are like, wow, it's so cool looking, because I made it fun. I made it fun to look at.
And that's what they tell you to do. You know, it's a cliche. People think, do what you love and it will carry you through wherever you want to go with it. And that's what you have done with Over the
Yeah.
Rainbow face painting. And Veronica, you are just awesome with
Thank you.
you're welcome. I mean, my gosh, so many people probably, or maybe not, I don't know, probably given up, before now. And,
Yeah.
with COVID, so many people were defeated for so many different reasons. It
Yeah.
certainly took a toll on everybody, like I
Yeah.
had said earlier. And for you to fight through COVID, your family fight through what you all had to, go through and getting and moving to Delaware, dealing with your cancer diagnosis. Again, that could have been something that you could have said, oh, enough's enough. I can't do this
Yeah.
anymore. But
Yeah.
fighter that you are, here we are in
Yeah.
2024. And that is just amazing.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna tell you something. I, being someone who hereditarily had been diagnosed with depression, I thought my depression was gonna beat me. I literally thought when I had my diagnosis, I said, nope, this is what's gonna keep me in bed. This is what's gonna keep me in bed, and I'm not gonna get out. And I decided I'm going to be the one in my family to break the cycle. I'm not staying in this bed. I'm not letting it stop me. I refuse to give up. I refuse to not make something of my one life. I got one life to live, and I need to live it. I'm not going to let it beat me. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy at where I am.
Oh, that is complete determination, complete, the belief you have finally had the belief in yourself that you knew you could do that. You wanted to do that. And there are so many people it's not hereditary, but there's so many people that from, again, COVID, that we're dealing with the mental health, and it's
Yeah.
not easy, and it is different for everybody. I understand that, but just to maybe hear your story, could help that, somebody listening to the
Yeah.
podcast later on, because I know
Definitely.
depression is an ugly thing. I
Yes, it
don't
is.
suffer from depression, but I get the winter blues. I get the seasonal,
Yeah. Yeah.
disorder. And my minuscule part of it, knowing that feeling. So kudos
Yeah.
to you for fighting through that too and
Thank you.
breaking that
It
cycle.
it was, I mean, it took me a while. You know that saying where someone says, I have arrived?
Hmm.
I don't want to get emotional, but I have arrived,
You
because
have.
I, for a long time, I was hiding in the dark, and Over the Rainbow face painting saved me. And I'm so happy that I arrived to my destination.
And
So
welcome
thank
to
you.
it. And I am so glad that kit came with you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this kid, I don't know what, I mean, I guess now I can say God knew what was coming, but when I lugged it into the car on moving day, never did I think I was gonna get back into it. And there were times I almost threw the kid out when cleaning my house, and I didn't. I kept saying, "No, leave it there, leave it there. I paid for it, leave it there." And I'm glad. So,
Oh,
yay.
I'm very glad also. Absolutely. Because you wouldn't be here sitting and talking to me and,
Yeah.
talking about over the rainbow face painting. And before I forget, why don't you let everybody know where to find you, how to find you, how to book you?
Yes. So actually, you could find me on both Facebook and on Instagram. Those are the current places that you can find me. So on Instagram, I actually am, I believe it is, if you can just give me a second, it is over the rainbow f.p on Instagram. And on Facebook, it is just simply over the rainbow face painting.
And do they call you to book you?
So, you no, so on you can DM me on both, and then on Facebook there is a link for my email. You can click the link, and it sends you straight to your Gmail. Opens up a message where you can write to me, or you can click the message me now button. And then on Instagram, there's a contact button on Instagram where you can call me on Instagram, and you can also directly message me on Instagram.
Okay. And you said you've already have 18 gigs on the book. So,
Yes, that's for the next 4 months. I don't know what's going on past the 4 months, but it's a good start, and it's a great start. It's
it's a
more
great
than what I
start.
was expecting.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So I do ask the question that, knowing what you know now and what you've gone through, would there be anything that you would change in the beginning?
Yes, 100%. There is something that I would have changed because I didn't have a mentor, because I wasn't taught. I didn't know when you come into a new business, it's best to connect to other face painters in the area to know what their paying rate is. I didn't know that you're supposed to connect. I didn't know that because no one taught me that. Um, had I known that, I think I would have reached out to them and be like, hey, I'm a new face painter in the area. What's your going rate so that I know to be fair? That I wish I knew. Um, because I think that's how some people grew to not fully like me in Delaware, and that's fine. I think I wish they had given me a chance to share my stories that they knew I didn't know any better, but I do now, and I did get new connections, and I did make friends, and it got better, and I changed my prices, and I grew from it, and all of it is really just a learning process, right? So, I think in the beginning, I would have definitely reached out to more face painters to learn more.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a great, I like that because I don't think you're not the only one,
yeah,
probably that hasn't joined a group or hasn't reached out.
yeah,
You get caught up in what you're doing for
yeah.
yourself and
That you
then,
forget.
yeah,
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
so much to going on that you have to do that it's really hard for you to mark you might miss a step. And you don't do it intentionally with the intentions of being that way, but there's just so much on your list that talking to another face painter to know their price is something that you didn't really think about.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's something I would have changed so that I would have respectfully came into the community with respect. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all learn, every day we learn. Excuse me, we all learn something new every day. And,
Yeah,
that's great advice for another woman entrepreneur as well.
yeah,
I had wrote this. There's a post that you probably have seen too on Facebook. Remember that there's room for everyone in every field. Well, let's cheer each other on and support one another as we all accomplish our goals and dreams. Some of the best people I've met are my direct competition. And I love that quote.
yes. Oh man, that quote couldn't hit closer to home. There were some competitors here who are not happy about me, but then there's some competitors here who were so nice that they actually gave me work. Okay. They gave me my first gig. One of them gave me my first gigs. And I remember calling her and I said, I can't thank you more. You could have ignored me completely and been like, I'm not helping you. You're my competitor. But she didn't. you said, "Hey, hold on, I got something for you." And it was the best first gig that I could have ever had. And I thank her so much for it. And now we're the greatest of friends. And we share so much in our group chat and we share all the pictures. And every time I make a new design, I send it to her and I think, hey, is this a good tiger? And she'll be like, hey, it's a great tiger. Just try to tweak this. And it's great because we've come together and it's so beautiful to see that she's a competitor, but she's not my friend, you know? So it's nice that
It is
that
nice.
quote is so on target. It really is.
Yeah, with the other women entrepreneurs as well. And they have, some of them have the same story where other, people in the same field have not been as welcoming to them. But that's the best way to learn is by
Yeah,
somebody else. And I always think that, we're complimenting the other person by going to them
exactly.
and becoming friends with them. And
Yeah.
because the other part of it is we might all do something similar, but it's always something different.
Yes.
So your faint
And
face painting, right? It's going to be different.
yes. Yes. So what I've learned is every artist is different when it comes to face painting. You've got the face painters who like to have their lines thicker and make them look more large. And then there's artists like me who's like very fine lined and very skinny with her lines. So we've all learned that like even though we're a face painter, we're each unique in our own ways. And we've
Absolutely.
all taught somebody. I've learned something from another face painter who also learned something from me. And so we all shared something and it's really nice. And that's why I think I told you in the beginning, if I can remove the evil and hate in this world, we would have all came together a lot more. And that's exactly why I feel that way.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, if everybody came together sooner and quicker, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, you're right
100%.
about that. That's right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I haven't touched on that you would like to share?
No, I do just want to say the quote, the part in that quote that there's enough room for everybody. I want to say this. There is millions of people in this world, millions, okay? There's events going on every day. There's things going on every day that there's an opportunity for you in every way to be a part of it. Um, if you can be anything in this world, be the light, be the positive, and be the good because there's so much bad that we can contribute the good. And that's what I want to say. And I think we've touched on almost anything that I would have loved to say. So I thank you for all your questions. They've been amazing and they've also helped me realize some things too.
Oh,
So, no, I think that we've touched on everything and it's been perfect in every way.
thank you, Veronica. I appreciate that. I do have
No,
a
thank
question.
you.
Are you going to be at any events or are these all private events?
I am going to be some at events. So there's a few events that I did donate my time to, meaning I did not take any profits from because these are events that are for special needs and children with cancer. So I am doing childhood cancer with the company um, Coaster Adventures. They're doing a event for children with cancer. It is so that you can come and donate blood to children who will really need it, and I will be there face painting. There's also a few pop-up events with Nino products as well. And then I am doing a special event with Brandywine Zoo. If you're a member or you want to be a member, you can go to Brandywine Zoo and become a member. We're having a special members only event. I'm on their website as well. And then there's some events that are private because it's employees only. But yeah, those are some events I'll be working at, and they're going to be fun. You can also catch me at the Bug and Bud Festival. It's going to be a lot of people that I am working with Nana Poppins. So why I say why we should all work together is that me and Nana Poppins came together. She's another face painter, and we're going to both be working at the Bug and Bud Festival, which is going to be so much fun.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Where's that one?
So the Bug and Bud Festival is ooh, there's that one. I believe it's in Dewey Beach, if
Oh,
I'm
okay.
correct.
Dewey Beach down. Okay, so
Yeah,
down
Dewey
in
Beach, if
Sussex.
that's
Okay,
how you say
cool.
it. And there's also the Rusty Rooter is going to be
Okay.
another one that's going to be happening on Dewey Beach as well. So
Cool.
these are all fun events that are going to be happening,
Oh
and
my
they're
gosh.
great family fun times. So I hope you guys all follow me and click on the events. They're pinned and post on my pages, so
Okay.
they're very easy to find.
Good. And again, people can find you on Facebook and on Instagram, and they
Yep.
can message you and call you and email
Yes.
you. Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Veronica, you are amazing. I
Thank you
am
so much. So are you.
well, thank you. I'm so glad that we connected, and I look forward to meeting you in person because I try to get out to as many events that I can to meet all the great
Yeah.
women. And the other goal of mine with the podcast is I love to connect women entrepreneurs with other entrepreneurs, as I've
Yeah.
already done that. And so I will also be giving your name out to all the other ladies.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. And there's always some event somebody else is doing that you could be a part of. So I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing all
I
your
appreciate
paintings.
that.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. I just want to say before anything else, thank you for giving women the opportunity to speak up. Thank you for giving us a place to come and talk about ourselves. It is a beautiful thing that you do because not a lot of places in the world are for small people like us to be out there. So thank you so much for this. You're a blessing, honestly.
Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea.